Hi, Robert.
I didn't know the answers anyway, so...
You don't recognise any Cure videos, then?
No, only two of them I think I recognise. And it's beer that I spend money on, not sandwiches.
Sorry? It's beer, Robert. Yeah. Should have known. OK. He spends all of his money on beer, folks. Now, Robert, good evening to you. You're at home, aren't you?
I am, yes.
You like that picture of you up there?
That's just what I look like at the moment. Sort of drained of all colour.
Drained of all colour and staring off into the middle distance. Excellent. OK. How are you doing?
All right, thank you.
Have you just come back from a holiday or something? Have you been on holiday?
I have, yes, very recently. I went on a walking holiday around the Lake District.
Wow, walking holiday?
Yeah.
What do you do on walking holidays, then?
Walk.
Why didn't you go to somewhere and lie on a beach? Do you want to be active and adventurous when you go on holiday?
I've never really liked holidays that have got sunshine and sand and stuff. I've always liked kind of a rainy, you know, sort of cliff sky sort of holidays.
So that's deep, meaningful stuff, Robert.
Not really. No, I just go red in the sun. I think that's the real one.
Yeah. Have you ever been down the Grand Canyon on a walking holiday?
No, I haven't. Have you?
Well, a friend of mine has, and said it's fantastic. Apparently.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's the same old thing about going to lots of different places and never actually really getting the time to go out and see them. I mean, I must have driven past the Grand Canyon about 5 or 6 times probably, but I've only ever seen it through a window.
Oh, no, well, there's the Grand Canyon over there.
Yeah.
Anyway, on to the next gig. Well, you've broken up the band now, though, haven't you? You're not going to tour anymore.
Who says that?
I think you did, didn't you, Robert, or somewhere?
Yeah, what, about 8 times in the last 8 years, yeah.
Oh, I thought you'd have plenty of time to go to the Grand Canyon now.
No, we've just done one thing this year. We're down to a 4-piece, like Paul, who's been with the group for about 10 years, left at the start of the year.
I was very sad about that, because Paul, last time I saw you guys, he showed me all his guitar collection.
Yeah, well, he was the one that said, yeah, do that interview with Ray Coates. He's the best thing about MTV. He was the one that talked to it. I mean, we didn't need much talking into doing it, obviously, but... Yeah. No, he's gone off to do some... He's heavily into painting and things, and also his own sort of acoustic stuff, so it was a very amicable parting. And,
Good.
But we've really had a year... because for the past 3 years we've been working, even though it doesn't seem like a lot of the work that gets done, you know, gets done around the world and also in studios and stuff, so it doesn't seem like we're doing very much, but we are. But this year we've kind of taken a bit of a break.
And you've got a couple of albums out at the moment.
Yeah, I say a bit of a break. I spent 4 months editing the film, and mixing 2 albums.
I know. Were you happy with the film?
Yeah, given the constraints of a film, I think it turned out really well. I think whatever it looked like, I think it was going to be criticised by the media.
Yeah, always, yeah.
Because it's like, you know, it's a live venture. But I think every single Cure fan that I've spoken to really likes the film.
Good.
Particularly the video, which has got all the encores on it. I think that's it.
Yes. Do you still get worried about all those critics and all the media who are so snobbish and want to criticise anything that's successful? Do you still get upset about all that?
I don't, actually. It doesn't bother me in the slightest, but people around me do. Particularly Mary gets upset sometimes when people are always saying horrible things about me.
Oh, no.
And then she gets upset, so I get upset, you know. And then my mum gets upset, you know, everyone's in tears. But, no, I've sort of put up with enough criticism for it not really to bother me. I always think that people who criticise, I generally think they can't really have tried it themselves, otherwise, you know, they'd be out there doing it.
And you said so anyway yourself, Robert. You've got a fantastic fan base, and who cares about what someone who's a journalist, you know, sitting in an office? I
suppose the only part of it that worries me is that if it ever gets to a kind of point where people are sort of turned off from liking the Cure because of what we mean critically, I suppose, but I think people are sort of more intelligent than that.
It's the tunes that matter.
Exactly.
And you can still do them brilliantly and better than anyone else. You've got an album at the moment, you know this, Robert, but I'm just doing the promotional bit, you know. Robert, you have an album out at the moment. It's Show, that's from the video, of course, from the film.
Yeah.
And also, the other one, which you've released, some old Cure classics, lesser-known songs.
Yeah.
And half the proceeds of this go to the Red Cross and the Red Crescent.
Yeah.
Which is brilliant. Did you choose that charity yourself?
Yeah, I mean, the whole lot's going to charities, but on the last live album we did that, and we could agree on, I think we narrowed it down to 10, and we sort of split it. But this time everyone in the group thought the Red Cross, particularly because of what's going on, I suppose, in what was Yugoslavia, led us to that. But with the rest of it, we thought rather than sort of divide it up again, we'd just do it, you know, individually as to who we felt was, you know, should benefit from it.
Yeah, excellent. You have to be careful, don't you? Because so much of your money, if you donate it, could just go wasted on, you know.
Yeah, that's the trouble. I mean, you know, just recently, like with the think the Salvation Army's been the latest one. You know, some nutter flying around the world spending their money. It is a bit disconcerting, there are also other overtones when you're choosing charities, and I've always been very wary of getting sucked into that whole kind of pat yourself on the back you're giving to charity. That's why it's just tucked away on the back. So, in fact, you're the first person I think that's actually noticed it. So.
Sorry to have brought your attention to that then, Robert.
That's right.
What are you doing now? What are you going to do for the rest of the year? You're going to have a big Christmas and everything?
Well, we're all getting together in about a week's time in a house in deepest Sussex to set off on the next sort of round of whatever we're going to do. I don't know till we all meet up. We've all been writing stuff, and I should imagine we're going to have a couple of weeks of, you know, like kissing and fights and the usual stuff that we get up to.
Okay. Well, look, have a very happy Christmas.
Thank you.
And I hope you've enjoyed Cure Day today. What's your favourite Cure video, by the way?
I don't know, really. I think Friday, you showed that earlier, I saw that 3 from 1 or something, whatever it's called. Yeah. I like that. It reminded me of how much fun that day was. I think that's probably my favourite. Yeah. I was obviously that they said I could have a choice of my own video coming up.
Yes,
and unfortunately, Meatloaf went just before I was allowed to shoot.
Did you really want Meatloaf?
I don't actually know. It's awful, isn't it? It's really awful. And one other thing I was going to ask you just while you were there. Yeah. You spoke to Kate Bush, didn't you?
Yes, Robert.
Did you ask her off air? Has she got a secret child that she keeps in her attic? Do you know?
No, I don't know. Like flowers in the attic type thing? No. No, I mean, I had a really bad interview with her, Robert. I got all the research wrong and everything, and called her single rubber band man, and she didn't like me at all, apparently.
Were you overawed or something? Or not?
No,
really?
hungover is the word, and not very well researched, you know me.
Oh, dear.
Yeah. Still, it's been nice talking to you, Peter. And
thanks, Dave.
It's always a great pleasure to talk to you. I'm hoping you're going to come in the studio and play some music for us at some time.
Yes, well, if we're invited, we'll certainly come along. We've got some new stuff, so...
Hey, OK, you heard it here. Did we get that bit on tape about Paul saying he was the best on MTV? Yeah. OK, Robert, well, thanks a lot for that.
All right.
And you want to see the Cranes, don't you?
Yeah, just because they should get more airtime, really. It's an excellent song. OK, you want to dedicate it to anyone? Everyone that's watching.
Everyone that's watching. He's such a nice man, isn't he? Robert, thanks for taking time out.
All right, thank you.
Ta-da.
Bye.
Here's the Cranes, especially for Robert Smith of The Cure. What a nice man.